Peace and power. I thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Peace and power to the people of the struggle. Salute, salute, salute. As you come on in, please know that you are in a safe space. You are in a space where we educate. You are in a space where we are educated. You are encouraged to dialogue intelligently. You are also encouraged to share. Let the tribe know we in here. Grow the tribe. Know that you are loved and respected. Salute, salute, salute. Peace and power. If you have never been here before, if you have never been here in this type of dialogue, right? You see that this is woman up. Woman up, hold down and out. We are here for women only tonight. Only women if there are men in the building. If they are here as spectators. Please know that you are here as a spectator. This is for women. This is their safe space. This is their question and answer session. They know what goes on here. They know when they dropping them green screens in here, in this space here tonight, that they're going to get very direct answers to their very direct questions, right? So again, to the comrades, we know you in here. Shh. Don't tell nobody nothing. All right? This is strictly for the queen comrades. Okay? We see you, Donella. I see Carol. I see T. T. Make sure the green screen information is in effect. Yes, it is. Because we're going to deal with some very serious topics tonight. As we see, there's some very serious allegations, right? Very serious allegations. We have just learned about who? Somebody who a lot of women said that I hated on, right? The new it man of Hollywood, Jonathan Majors. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Yes, I seen direct comments under my video. I've seen direct comments on my Twitter, and I watched the Twitter universe, right? And saw what women were saying to and about black men when we were concerned about this man, when we was critiquing this individual, when we were alarmed about specific behaviors. But again, as always, in this world, in this era of social media, you get called a hater, all type of weird expressions because we don't sit in alignment with these so-called celebrities. Just weird. It's just weird that so many people who seem to be conscious and aware may have been awakened but not woke, still fall under the spell of charisma or of propaganda when it comes to these celebrities. These people are human beings. And this man here, for various reasons, we don't know the specific reasons just yet, right? But this man has been charged. He's been arrested for a slew of charges pertaining to a woman that he was with. Okay? Assaulted, strangled. Salute, Donnella. Salute, much appreciated for the green screen. Assaulted and choked. There's a lot coming out quickly about this specific incident. But what we're not going to do here, is say, nah, she's lying. Oh, he's innocent. We don't do that here. Not with me. Not from somebody who spent the last several years dealing with domestic violence. We're not going to do that at all. No, 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 no. We're going to listen to the victim first. And in this case, the victim, right, is a woman. So since we're on Woman's Up, we're going to examine the signs of somebody who has the capability to be an abuser or a batterer, because this is very important. And these are things that I teach my daughter. These are the things that I teach many of my queen comrades who come to me for anger management themselves, or guiding, life guiding. You understand? I always sprinkle in some of this stuff here because, again, our women are the most vulnerable at this time. That's it. There is absolutely no question about it. Scientific data supports it. Conversation supports it. And witness testimony supports it. Our women are the most vulnerable, and the attacks, rapes, and murders of our women has escalated. It has tripled almost 300% since the pandemic. So, any other factors that come into play, or any other catastrophe or calamities that come into play, such as the looming financial crisis, and it's going to be pure hell for our women, especially if they are not armed with certain information, specific information. So again, this is somebody who I gave him the business, like I would give any man the business for presenting themselves not as metrosexual. You understand? Because when we saw the explosion of the term metrosexual, it was just somebody who, like we did back in our days, was always fly. That's it. Someone who was clean, kept his shit clean together. You understand? That's what we was dealing with. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my queen comrade. Some got their hands done. You understand? Some always stayed in the barber shop, but they were impeccably dressed. That's what metrosexual was. Once it got to the extreme, right? Where we're speaking of, facials on the regular, pedicures, on the regular, doing the most, is when you got a pushback, where you have dudes who didn't want to identify with that term metrosexual, because that's what it became. It became a stamp and a label on your sexuality just because you were being clean. Nah, these dudes, as of lately, have not been presenting as fly or metrosexual. They've been presenting themselves as being very sweet. When you're getting not only manicures, but painted nails, you wearing purses, you extra on the makeup, you got rouge on, might have gloss on instead of just some Vaseline, and you wearing feather boas and pink and panties and all type of weird shoes and all that. Now you're presenting as something else. So men are not hating when they're saying, yo, hold on, look at this dude, he's out of pocket. Like, what is he doing? No, it's very odd. It's odd. But when women come to the rescue of these type of individuals or how they're presenting themselves, yo, that's when you question the mentality, right? And what's going on in that energy of a woman. Because any woman should never, ever accept or tolerate or give excuse for a man that will present himself as she. That's just weird. You putting on panties, he putting on panties. You in the mirror getting your makeup together, he in the mirror getting his makeup together. What the fuck is going on here? So I wouldn't care whether their career choice, right, encourages them to do this or not. It should be something that is a little offbeat. It is off. So when we see Jonathan Majors present himself, especially on that cover of the magazine, dude was like, yo, hold up. What's really hood with son? No. What's really hood with son? Like, really? And then there were photos that people deemed questionable with Michael B. Jordan, which I didn't, I've seen much worse when it came to two dudes who were or are friends or presenting in a certain arena. You dig? I've seen a lot. I mean, way more questionable than him, being that close to him. I didn't think much of those particular pictures, but how he presented himself on that magazine cover and others covers or photo shoots, I was like, come on, man. What's this? Again, could be gripper game, could be getting tapped on the shoulder because you have now gone from C to B list to A list. There may have been a lot with that. And again, these people are in a very small community. They have the same attorneys, they have the same agents. You understand? They are in a very small knit group. So what's good for one is good for the other. But what I'm not going to do is ever allow our young men and boys to be influenced and think that that's okay because, again, in those small communities, they are safe. When it happens in our communities, it is not as such. There's prejudices that go on. There are people that are off. There's an element of over masculine energy combined with a thinking that is not right and exact. So if Shorty get influenced by somebody, in Hollywood wearing makeup and panties, and he believing that in order to make it to Hollywood, that he can be around his community wearing makeup and panties, he gonna get hurt. Simple as that. So you have to examine the whole range, right, of possibilities and of institutional norms within that before you can bring it to the street. So I'm critiquing it all the time. Like, it's not, yo, what is he doing? Legs cocked up, roses. Look, that is being done purposely. It's purposeful. So you're creating an image. Now the backlash to it, or the pushback to it, let's be fair to him. Maybe he wasn't comfortable in that, and it could have been, like others were saying, ritualistic. This was a ritual, right? This sort of humiliation ritual when it comes to heterosexual men, because you're going to look at you weird, right? But not so much humiliation when you are presenting to people who may want to see you like that. And you pulling that audience in. And if that is the case and he's not that way, this could have triggered the events that caused him to be arrested. Because it's a highly stressful situation for anyone to have to present themselves in a way that is not really them. And it could have triggered a response, right? A manly response, like so many of our men get caught up in when people are questioning their manhood, whatever the hell that means in this day and time. And could be, maybe he went upside this woman's head, whoever she may be. And regardless of her ethnicity, he should not be in a position or in thought to put his hands on anyone, because at this point he could lose it all. So he needs anger management and batteries accountability, as so many of our men need. There's a lot of it going on. Nobody wants to talk about it because, again, when you're following your oppressor, when you're following, people who deem to be supreme, right? Eurocentric ideals and morals, this is a casualty of that. This is what happens. That's what happens. Because you're trying to live by their standards. And if their standards is male dominated and chauvinistic, as we know it is, right? Because we lived through buck breaking. We lived through that. And remnants of it to this day, from buck breaking to strip searching, to cavity searching in the street. We lived through that. That is coming from a white mentality. That's coming from white ideals. That's coming from the top down. So if that is who men are modeling themselves after, of course, there's going to be abuse of women. There's going to be rape of women. There's going to be battery when it comes to women, because not enough men view women as human beings. And then not enough women are viewing themselves worthy of treatment as a human being, because you get caught up into all of these other theories, philosophies, beliefs that are not true. But you walk through them doors aimlessly and become the victim of somebody else's truth. So it really doesn't matter whether the woman or woman he was with is white or black, whether she's in the industry or not, it doesn't matter. He's been charged with this crime. Now, do you cancel him the way y'all canceled Tory Lanez? Do you cancel him the way you canceled R. Kelly? Do you cancel him the way y'all canceled Bill Cosby? Because we don't have to wait. He's been charged right now. But you see how quickly the tables turned? You was loving him last week, defending him last week, calling black men out for not standing with or behind him, for us not believing he's as cute as y'all say he is. Funny looking if you ask me. But again, now, does he get canceled right now or do you wait? Do y'all move the goalposts because he is on top of the game right now, fresh? Okay? Well, what is going to be? What is it going to be? Cancel Cuba Gooding Jr.? What is it going to be? Talk about it. Because women, this is woman up. And y'all need to understand that. That part of the revolutionary process, part of the liberation process is to make sure that men stand up right and women stand up right. That there's equitable pieces in that. Isn't that what Thomas Sankara built? One of the most successful revolutionary practitioners, one of the most successful liberators that we've seen. The upright man. So we cannot be upright men if we do not know how to build and respect and be partners with upright women. But how can your woman be upright if she continues to applaud and celebrate loose women who have no morals, values, principles, or ways in actions? So now, again, do we cancel this man? Immediately. Immediately. Again, this is Woman Up. I must reiterate that this is a safe space. Anyone who has been in Woman Up knows how it goes down in here. Straight talk to our women. Straight answers. Questions. We done dealt with everything, didn't we? Our queen comrades know we dealt with penal size. We done dealt with vag. We done dealt with disease. We done dealt with everything. Thoughts, relationships, all that right here in Women Up. And the few brothers that's in here, the few of the comrades in here, they keep quiet. All right? So know that y'all safe. Question and answer. Hit that green screen. Let's get down to it. All right? Let's get down to it. Because this pattern I basically can't stomach it anymore. I can't. It's too much. It's happening too much, and people are shrugging their shoulders when it comes to it. And I'm tired of feeling that energy when I walk the street, when I'm in community, when I'm in stores, when I'm in gyms, wherever I'm at, where women are apprehensive about the type of individual I may be just because I'm a melanated man. So I make sure I do my damnedest to have that welcoming energy, face, eyes. Do you understand that? That's what the hell we talking about here. All right? That energy has to stop. We get nowhere with it. All right? CS the director. You kind of cute. Now, don't delete them. Don't do that. It ain't gonna take us off our train. Salute, much appreciated for the what you call it? Super chat. We never know who's watching. We just don't. That's why I'm respectful of everybody. But even in my critique and harsh tone and directness of it, there's no hate. I only hate our oppressors. You may think I'm cute, but that's why I keep telling y'all men about wearing shorts and you got your knees out and shit, taking pictures with your nipples out and all that. You understand? I keep telling y'all don't know who's watching you. And I'm sure that's more than once. Like, again, I don't have 10,000 subscribers. I got 8,000, what? I think I hit 8,800 today. You dig what I'm saying? Out of that 8,000, I'm sure it's quite a few from that community that may be watching. It's all good. Watch and learn and get educated. All right? Because in their communities, domestic violence is very prevalent. Oh, yeah, they get their ass beat and try to keep it quiet. All right? So, yeah, they can learn a few things too. I'm an educator. So anybody can get educated as long as they're respectful, right? Because now we're dealing with Jonathan Majors, but I guarantee a lot of y'all haven't heard of this case, right? A lot of y'all didn't hear about this case, and this is the case that's troubling and disturbing because when you look at his picture and when you see him, you see the average black man in our community in Texas on March 20th. DeAndre Flanagan killed his 2-year-old daughter. 2-year-old daughter while on FaceTime and in a high-speed chase from police. So Shorty got it twice. One, because she was the daughter of somebody who didn't respect and honor women. But she was a woman herself. She was going to be a woman. His 2-year-old daughter, right? Killed her on FaceTime. He picked her up from daycare, okay? Daycare. Picked up from daycare, went to the mother's job, assaulted the mother, took her phone, demanded that she open up her phone, got her passcode, and went through her messages and was very distraught, whatever he found out. But he said now she's going to pay for it. Mother tried to get the baby from him. He whipped her out, broke out, and that's when they alerted police and everything, and he called and on FaceTime showed him assaulting his 2-year-old daughter. Killed her. Told her mother this was your doing. And when I seen it and look at his face, I see that face in the community every day. Every day. So now all the talk of reparations and FBAs and all this other weird stuff that y'all come up with as if a bag of money is going to stop that type of shit. See, that type of shit got to be addressed beforehand. What is the mentality of our men, of our boys? How are you raising them? How are you growing them up? What are they listening to coming through the culture? What are their experiences? What are their purposes for being here? If you don't have a balanced mentality when it comes to dealing with self, before you can deal with a woman, what are we teaching them? What is the conversation between boys and men and elders to get that shit situated. So somebody who is an A-list actor, that means he was on his game to get there. But you not on your game enough to know that any woman in your custody should be cared for? That you can even be accused of that? That's your mentality. That's off. As I keep telling you, you can excel anywhere in capitalism. All you gotta do is know the language and walk the walk. But that doesn't mean that your character is in line. That doesn't mean that your behavior is in order. So people are not safe around you. But these institutions hide you. Okay? And that's what our women have to know. Because when you behind closed doors with somebody, it's too late. It's too late. So all this woe is me shit that y'all ran with Kevin Samuels and all that bullshit and just demonizing all women was offbeat. That's what I was saying from the rip. When you vaguely paint a picture of a group and create false narratives and pockets that people could run with, you do a disservice. You do a disservice. And that harm is irreparable because they do acts. And our women and children suffer those consequences. Understand that. It's truth on both sides. Yeah, some women are loose. They out of control. They believe in the false narratives of what they see through entertainment. But it's also true that you don't have to act on that. That you don't have to run with those beliefs and the thinking that that's who all of them are. That shit is wrong. Just as wrong as somebody looking at you and saying, you's an ignorant nigga. Y'all didn't like that. You didn't like that from our oppressors. Y'all didn't dig that. So when men sit in that space and say that about women, you're not right and exact at all. At all. What are we doing? Do we have the Black Chinas? Yes. No doubt. And has that mentality did severe damage? No question. And now what? You see how you trying to reel it back, trying to have redemption, trying to clean up. Call me Angela. Fuck out of here. How many young minds have you poisoned with your bullshit over the last decade? How many? How many went up under the knife because of you? How many men were harmed by a woman who quoted things that she said? No reparations for that. Because as you see, this is the mentality. This is the energy, that toxic shit that men have limited understanding of, especially some who have never been nurtured by a woman. So they automatically come through with a resentment, with chauvinism, with some type of beast mode attitude when it comes to them. Now you adding on a layer by being loose, by going under the knife, by over-sexualizing yourself, and then acting as if selling twat is the way to go. But you seek redemption now. You want to change up now. No. Don't work like that. So we do have that. And there is many who believe as such, but it's not all. It's not all. Do we have the Lori Harveys? Do we have? Oh, yeah. Yeah. But what's your real view of it? See, because I see it for what it is. You understand? Others may see it and have knowledge of it as a pass around and dudes leveling up because you might be some gatekeeper. You understand? Some ritualistic sexual gatekeeper for dudes to get to the next level in the industry. It could be that. I just think it's as simple as the box is trash. Overhyped. Trash. Not attractive at all. I don't see it. But there's a reason for it. And because they've deemed her, the parents and everything, as getting to the bag, that bag mentality, again, poisoning generations of young women. Like, you don't think something wrong with it? You don't think something wrong with it? She was engaged in 2018. 2018. She was engaged at 20 years old. Yeah, Lori Harvey. 2018, she was engaged, remember? To the soccer player. What's his name? Memphis. This is 2023. She been through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 A-list dudes. Are you serious? Amazing Mind, salute. Thank you for the green screen. Do you understand what I'm saying? You go from Memphis to Justin Combs, Trey Songz, Diddy. So you did a father and son, R&B singer, Future, another R&B singer, y'all want to call him a rapper. So you got that. And you got two actors, Michael B. Jordan and Idris. What's going on? Y'all don't believe something got to be. If all these individuals, okay, high-powered dudes with bread that can basically deal with any woman they want, and all of them, none of them secured you, something wrong. Box is trash. But again, the presentation, the propaganda of it being some type of I'm in control, some type of feminism shit. I'm in control so I can do what I want to do. Okay. Keep believing that. And that is the mentality that is running outward. And when you don't have purpose, when you don't see an end goal in whatever life you may be dealing with, if it is beyond spirituality or rationale, okay, you're going to keep doing it. And the consequences that you suffer for it, shit, some of them may be too gone to even understand or realize that it's a consequence. But it also, again, it is not only you. It is not only women. It is not only the women that have been tainted with the actions and the language of it. It is the men who are witnessing it, who are watching it. So now they have a belief of, hold on, that ain't going to happen to me. Because if it happened to me, I'm on some sucker shit. And I'm not no sucker. I don't show my knees. All right? I don't have my nipples. I don't wear a purse. So what is the mentality of that individual? If they not soft, if they not sweet, if they not a sissy, that means the mentality of it is anybody who is soft, who is sweet, who is a sissy, I must dominate. And the quickest way for a man to dominate is physically, because that's what he's been taught. That you dominate anything around you by brute force. So you create a nation of batterers and abusers. Now, if you keep thinking that the cultures don't have anything to do with it, you keep thinking what you watch, what you hear, what you listen to, what you see, what you absorb as a behavior isn't a catalyst for you getting your ass whipped, then you just don't know human behavior. So keep thinking I'm not the smartest dude that you know. Not smart because of what I know, but smart because I never stop learning. Commitment to my women and my people. Again, I welcome everybody here. This is Woman Up. Women, you are encouraged to ask questions. You are encouraged to seek solution. This is your night. Let's get it up. Get the green screen popping because I could be laying down. I had a very long day. And going to have a very short evening. I got to get up. So let's get right to it. Start doing your thing. Let's get it in. Remember, men, y'all have a man up real soon. But tonight, this is what was asked for. We haven't had it in a while. How can women get out of domestic violence safely? Okay, T. Every domestic violence situation is different. Different. Okay? There is no solid answer. Okay? None. Each individual, right? And it's not only woman, to even though it's woman up. Each individual situation is different. But the first thing a woman has to do is know herself and seek the quickest way out of harm's way. Analyze, know the situation, right? Before we even get into getting out, we have to know what it could appear to be going in. How do we recognize whether we're in a situation that could be abusive or not? And based on my teaching, based on my learning, and based on my training, right, in domestic violence from one of the top institutions on the subject in the world, right, the Duluth model. We have something that's called a power and control wheel, okay, where there's physical and sexual violence. But before it gets physical and sexual, most of the abuse is mental. There are ways that an abuser works. All right? First and foremost, and usually, main thing is using isolation. They isolate their victim from everything, from all family, from all friends, phone conversations, work conversations, who you talking to, how that isolating, that controlling type of individual should alarm you. As I always tell you, people can't own people. Understand? People can't own people. I don't care what the Europeans taught you. I don't care what y'all believe, that inherited belief of man, women, relationship means I own you. Okay. If that's the case, then you should have never, ever, ever got up out of chattel slavery because they owned us. And ain't nobody like that shit. Okay? You fought tooth and nail. Harriet Tubman ran her ass up north. All type of wars and everything was fought. People can't own people. Okay? But for some weird reason, people get into these relationships talking about I own that, I own her, that's mine, this mine. Be wary of people who try to isolate you away from loved ones. Okay? I'm hipping y'all to some shit. Listen, and I'm telling you, it's usually reserved for my client base. Okay? It's usually reserved for it because, again, that's how I'm able to sustain myself. All right? That's right. Don't give nobody that much power or authority over you. Be mindful of that. Be mindful of it. Limiting who you can talk to, limiting where you go, right? As soon as you get off work, you got the call. Where you at? Where you doing? You got to run home. You got all this weird controlling environment. That shit ain't got nothing to do with love. Just don't. Been brought up under them narratives far too long. There is a respect. There is an acknowledgement in true love. Just what it is. It's just what it is. Okay? Next thing. Using emotional abuse. And that shit, when you talk about isolation, it's subtle. Emotional abuse is subtle too. The language of it gets very, very tricky. It's a head game. Okay? All right? Somebody always putting you down, comparing you to their exes, comparing you to celebrities and entertainers. You know what I'm saying? Questioning how you look, questioning what you wearing, questioning how you cook. You dig what I'm saying? Doing little silly shit. Taking money out your purse and shit like that. You ask, trying to make you think that you crazy. Weird shit. Weird shit. It's another tactic. It's another tactic. And some of them are not smart in doing it. Some of them do it through just regular behavior. It's something that they've been doing since they was a child. That how they was introduced to relationships. Watching their parents relate or watching other adults relate and learning these little things as children and young adults. Because if you're not a healthy adult, then you don't know how to raise a healthy child. You understand? Emotional abuse is always it because why? Because we are in an emotionally abusive society. Society's already telling you your black ass ain't worthy of nothing. So you already got that stigma right here. It's very easy for a mate to switch gears and tell you the same shit. Be mindful of that. Got to be mindful of that. It's very subtle. And before you know it, somebody will take your energy, was beating you down so much that you don't even realize that you're being abused. Because most of us are trying to figure out, like, damn, I didn't do nothing. Why this language? What is going on here? And because you may have had that in the past, and as a default stayed in that shit till it was too late, it's going to happen again unless you catch it. All right? Now, this is big too. Using children. Some abusers will use children against you. You don't know what you're doing. Telling the children, mommy's dumb or daddy's stupid. All right? Come on. If you're already in a situation where you have some court orders, visitation, oh, you ain't getting a kid this week. Things like that. People just try to make it part of a situation, but you're being abused. That's abuse. And it's traumatizing. It's traumatizing to have courts intervene. It's traumatizing for the rest of your family to look and see, oh, damn, y'all was so good together. What happened? Children. It's a lot. Okay? Again, these are the keys. So when you're hearing that and dudes is posturing like that, and trust and believe, you got people who claim to be woke and conscious doing that same shit. And you think because they could tell you everything about history and Egyptology and Kemet and all this other shit that they not abusive to women. Because none of that shit is in none of them doctrines tell you how to deal with that. They don't tell you that shit. Especially the ones who's propagating that shit. They're not telling you that. They telling you what's going to benefit them. None of that history has to deal with no type of emotions. None of it. History is history. History is based on fact that somebody else may have told you was fact. If you ain't been there, and none of us was there when Crispus Attucks got shot. None of us. At any given point when that shit happened, somebody could have scribbled his goddamn name in there. We don't even know fucking Crispus Attucks. We don't know who the fuck that is. That's what history is based on. You understand? So you can have somebody who can retain all the information in the world, but their behavior is sucky. Okay? You dig? That's what we talking about. How do we deal with that if you don't know what's coming on? You dig? This is what we dealing with here. Where we at with it? Where we at with it? So as we keep coming in, come on through. Question, answer, question. Where you at? Where you at? Who else gives it to you like that? Huh? How are you moving on that? Again, what is being presented through Hollywood, through the entertainment industry. Okay? Who giving it up? Who's giving it up? How do you move? How do you move in that? Learning one thing has absolutely nothing to do with the other. Dealing with one thing, right, that may be true has nothing to do with the other. So again, you can have a great actor, okay? You can have a great athlete. You can have a great rapper. You can have a great pastor and politician. And they can be kicking your ass. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. Anything else? Let's go and woman up. Let's go. Anything else? Talk about it. Talk about it. We are an hour in already. We're an hour in. Because it's a whole lot. Whole lot. And there's also flipped side too. There's not only the one part, there's also a good part too that shows you equality and equitable pieces in that, right? There's respect, trust and support, honesty and accountability, responsible parenting. It's a whole lot when we're dealing with that. We're dealing with domestic violence, right? Patterns, accountability, a whole lot. Okay? What advice can you give to women to protect themselves from men who are abusers? First thing most women need to do is know how to protect themselves physically. Because most women are intelligent. Women are some of the smartest beings on the planet. They can outthink, they can outtalk, they can outration. But most of them relinquish that because physically they feel inadequate and not up for a challenge. Now, not so much for our women, but still, when it comes to a man, especially somebody who they had once, liked or deemed a partner in some way, it gets tricky. So I think all women, I believe all women should know how to defend themselves. All of them. All of them. I don't care what it is. Boxing, jiu-jitsu, kung fu, all of them should learn to defend themselves. That's the start. Because self-defense builds consciousness. Self-defense builds a certain type of bravado, a certain type of shortness within you. You dig? So I wouldn't care what it is. Boxing is a great start. And then from there, you can get into all type of self-defense. That's the first thing I suggest, you know? Anything else? Let's get it, y'all. And for some reason, these LEDs is hot. Maybe it's because it's getting warm back here. Yeah. Learn how to knife fight too. Women. And just again, just treat yourself as a soldier, which should be done anywhere. I told you that. Always, always defend yourself. When you in that mode, when you're in soldier mode, you use anything. But if you're never in that, you gotta be in that headspace. You know, we always under attack by all type of enemies, all type of people, weird people, aggravated people, jealous people, crazy people. People are just not, they're not pleased with themselves. People are just not happy. They just not. And a lot of people are scared. It's fearful. It's a lot going on. Huh? If you're a soldier and you always ready to, you know, I don't like the self-defense theology, right? Self-defense theories, self-defense psychology. I'm not. I've never been one for that. I was always the aggressor, the attacker, you know, always. Always. I don't believe in that. That self-defense shit, it is what it is. But if you always in attack mode, then you good. Then you good. And be calm about it. Be calm. Know how to channel that rage. Know how to channel your anger. Know how to channel your emotion so that even if you're always in attack mode, it's not coming from that space of hate. It's coming from a space of you loving yourself enough to not let nothing harm you. And that you're going to go to full length. You're going to go 1,000% to take out anybody who's trying to harm you or your children at any given time. That's how all women should think and operate. But when you taught to use the wrong tools, you taught to use the wrong body parts, you're taught to over accentuate the wrong parts of yourself, you're vulnerable. It throws your thinking off. It throws your purpose off. That's what life here does. That's what capitalism does. You are not the center of attention in capitalism. The center of attention is getting money. The center of attention is your labor. The center of your attention is to give up, to pay up. Pay up to the corporation, pay up to the government, to pay up. You're not the center of attention. So you walk around in that. It's just that simple. You have to reverse it. You have to reverse that thinking, and be on purpose with it. And everything else gets simpler. Everything else gets simpler because that's your behavior. That becomes your practice. So that's your thought. Your thought is, okay, how can I get up out of this situation? Because if you could deal with that, the heaviest situation is our oppressor. That's the heaviest situation. If you are plotting, thinking, scheming on getting out from under your oppressor, anything under that is minimal. Because your oppressor is the most brutal person or group that we have ever known. If your whole entire essence, if your entire consciousness is to get up from out under that, then you can defeat anything. Anything else is small today. So I don't worry about behind the wall. I never worried about because I done drag my as a kid. From adolescence to young adulthood, I fought my oppressor behind the walls in the courts everywhere. So the average everyday melanated person or nigga can't do shit with me at all. Simple as that. When you looking at your oppressor and you ready to take them on, you learn how to navigate this little weak bullshit. Especially from niggas. You don't worry about them. Okay, so that's what I advise women to do. Learn self-defense. Learn everything about the institutions that have you oppressed. And start learning the strategies from people who have fought them and won. And your whole entire life shifts. Everything starts to make sense. Everything else becomes less stressful because you're on purpose. And this way you're not easily impressed or dazzled by bullshit. You dig? Y'all dig? Listen, if there's no more else, let me know. Let me know. Yeah, they playing. It's playtime. I get it. It's troll time. I understand. I understand. When you educate, people don't want you to educate. I get it. I get it. But it can't be stopped. Definitely can't be stopped. But what I can do, right, is again, if there's no more questions right now, if there's no more green screens right now, I could shift to, see, that's that's the power of technology. Since they want to play here, I could go to Instagram and we could get busy over there. It don't stop. Can't stop. Can't stop. Why? Because it's a service to the people. Ain't that right, T? What was Huey's title? Right? Servant of the people. You understand? Nothing beats that. Nothing beats being a servant, providing service to your people. So I can't stop that. So again, I always appreciate my moderators coming through. I appreciate the super chats. I appreciate the green screens. Keep them coming. Y'all know where I'm at. Y'all know we on task. Again, women, do not hesitate. If you believe that you are in an abusive relationship or situation, reach out, get an assessment. If you have an anger issue, get an assessment. Basic life guidance skills would come through. All information is there, and everything that I do, everything is private. Same HIPAA laws everybody else follow, I follow. Same thing. Same thing. The most confidential exchange you will ever get is with me. Okay? So get into the comrades. Don't worry, we'll get a man up sometime this week. We'll get a man up this week. Definitely. So again, salute, salute, salute. All peace and power to the people that struggle. Again, don't believe in me. Believe in my belief in you. I know you can do it. I know you can get up out of it. Trust that. I don't know what the rest of them be telling y'all, but I know you can do it. I have the ultimate belief in my people. Yes. Alaikum assalam, Ramadan Mubarak. All right? Remember, grow the tribe. Grow the tribe. Do the work. Believe in self. Have patience with yourself. Peace.